myself time. How have you found Paris so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Beautiful city, old buildings and that.
Is it, you're one of the most like fan favourite guys in the UFC, is it a little bit weird to be playing sort of the bad guy this week?
I'm the bad guy?
There was a few boos yesterday at the open workout.
Oh yeah, there's a few boos, but they ended in woos.
Sorry guys, the mic's not working.
Cool. Hello.
We good? So obviously, you know, this is the biggest fight of your career. You've kind of, throughout your career, sort of just been an easygoing guy, but when it's getting to this level as it's starting to get to you realise that, wow, I could be the world champion if this keeps going my way.
This is my job. It's just another fight. Still not working. So I tried.
So your jewellery.
You got good grief.
So you said it's your job and this is just another fight. Is that how you're looking at Ciryl? Just another guy that you have to do your game against and not really worry about what he's here to do?
Yeah, it's just another fight for me. I know a good win over Ciryl will put me in a good conversation of a new contract and more money. And this is what I do to feed my family, and I'm all about the dollars.
Have you got the family here with you this week?
Yeah, my son's here, family's here. A few people from Australia's travelled over. We can travel now, so big Archie there at the back. Yeah, it's good to see, you know, finally everyone can come, and it's a great opportunity for me. A couple of my family members have travelled, which if I'd never got the opportunity to do something like this or come this far in life, you know, they would never travel outside of our little Western Sydney box. So it's something I'm really proud of, and it's a massive achievement for me to be a part of history for the UFC and for Paris.
When you look at Ciryl, right, a lot of people talk about his striking and his movement. Do you see him as a kind of a complex guy to fight, or do you think, look, once we're in there, we're both big guys throwing punches and that's just the way it's going to go?
Oh, we all know he's a great athlete. He's really fast and all this, but I excel in the cage. Once the cage door's shut, it's only me and him. And as much as people keep telling me I have to worry about Ciryl, I think Cyryl's got a bit to worry about for me too.
Obviously, the heavyweight division's in a weird one right now. They're talking about John Stipe. We don't really know if that's happening yet. France is injured. What is on the line here for the winner? Does the guy who wins this fight get to call the UFC and say, hey, screw John, screw Stipe, I get to fight for a title now?
Definitely the winner gets a say, that's for sure. But that's not on my mind at all. I got a big Frenchman coming to knock my head off, and that's my only worry at the moment.
Speaking of French, is it possible to do a shoey with wine, or is it just beer only?
Look, this has been a long fucking camp. I'm ready to do anything. Anything. Oh shit. Anything.
So you mentioned there about John Jones. How do you see him returning and at heavyweight?
I've said it before, John Jones is a GOAT. He's one of the greatest to ever fight. We all know this. But as a heavyweight, no one really knows. I'm sure that he's still John Jones. His talent and his skill is great. But heavyweight's a different kind of league. You know what I mean? And we don't know. We have to wait and see.
If that fight does go down with him and Stipe, how do you see that playing out?
My tips are pretty bad, so I reckon Jones will get him. Jones is still young. I think Stipe's a bit older. But to be honest, I don't even watch, so I don't know.
And you said that he's one of the greatest of all time. Do you see that as a potential matchup for yourself, maybe later down the line?
I'd love to fight him. Said it before. This is why I do this. I want one day when I wrap up this whole fighting gig, I want to say I fought this guy and that guy, you know, the best guys. I don't want to come out and I didn't have the opportunity to fight the best. So I'd love to fight John, and I'd love to knock his head off as well. It'd be pretty cool.
And then, of course, going back to this weekend with Ciryl, you know, where would you rank him in terms of the competition that you've fought previously?
Cyryl's a champion. He's won the belt. He's one of the best of the best. I've fought a couple champions now, and he's up there with the best for sure. He would probably be one of the most elusive maybe fighters, and within speed and his movement. But if I dink him, I sink him.
And what did you make of his performance against Francis Ngannou?
It was good. I thought to be honest, I don't really know. It was good. I think he lost, didn't he? Yeah, but yeah, good fight.
And of course yourself, you know, you're on a 5-fight win streak, all being finishes within the second round. You know, what do you put that success down to?
If I dink him, I sink him. If I hit you flush, then don't worry about the cardio, don't worry about none of that. You're going to bed.
Thank you.
Tai, just to build off that, you know, when you are on that kind of streak, what does that do for your confidence heading into a fight like this?
It's cool. I don't know. I'm confident in every fight. I think confidence is key, especially in the fight business. I think I'm just lucky I've got more cool. I don't really take too much into account. All I know is Saturday I get paid and I get to get drunk, and when I win I get more money. That's all that matters to me.
And I wanted to follow up on something that kind of came out, was about you paying for your own airfare over to here. And I just wanted to clarify, is that just because you wanted to be like first class and wanted the leg room, or, you know, are you paying for the whole thing, kit and caboodle?
Well, I'm not the smallest human, so it is better to fly up the front. But I had a chat with Mick, and I don't know, apparently it was in my contract to, I don't know, but yeah, the flights. We should all fly business, just quietly, but that's another conversation.
All right, last one from me. What did you make of the crowd reception yesterday? There were chants of "you're gonna die," and then there was chants of, you know, "give us a shooty." Do you think you can win some of these fans over?
Look, I entertain. I walk out to bangers, I knock people out, and I do shoeies. So, what's not to love? What's not? Yeah. And if you don't, then fuck off.
All right, we'll love it. Best of luck.
Tai.
Yep.
Yeah, but two I think here doing that.
Doing that.
Just want to ask. We can talk about fans. We can talk about fans all we want. But you brought 40 people with you. You brought 40 people from Western Sydney.
There we go.
They're cutting us Aussies off here.
Yeah, I know, mate.
Fucking hell, what's going on?
Too much jewellery. Now, lad, I just want to ask you. They're all talking about fans here. You've got close to 30 to 40 friends and family that have come out, mostly from Western Sydney. You said there's a great opportunity for you to bring the family out, and you have a reason for everyone to travel to Paris, but they're doing it for you too. So what is it about that part of the world? You know, they're obviously breeding tough. They're breeding tough out there, but there's a lot of love. And are you feeling that right now in Paris?
Definitely. Like I said, some of my closest friends and my family have made a 24-hour plane ride to come and watch me do my thing. And win or lose, I know that they're on my side, and that's a great feeling to have. And shout out to the rest of Western Sydney. One day we'll be fighting back home, that's for sure.
And do you feel sorry for the poor Frenchman that had to sit between 80 of your cousins on the flight here to Paris?
My poor brothers, they had to sit. They're twice the size of me. I wouldn't want to get stuck with them on the chair, that's for sure.
Thanks, lad.
Thank you.
Hey Tai, what's up?
What's happening, brother?
Since you arrived in Paris, do you feel how much is important for the French public to have a UFC event in France and a champion like Ciryl Gane?
Definitely. I think considering it being illegal not long ago to having two champions that have come out of this side of the world, as in Francis and Ciryl, it's crazy. And I think it's awesome that finally they've come around and now they get to have an event, and even better for me to be a part of history, like I said, and be a part of this whole gig. It's awesome. Thank you.
Tai, you mentioned Ciryl as a champion. He's known to be one of the quickest heavyweights of this division. Dana once said that he moved like a middleweight. How are you going to do to knock him out, and what's your game plan?
Go in there and punch him. That's the same. My game plan is the same for every fight. It doesn't matter. It's go in there and fight, and that's what I do. And I'm gonna go in there and fight.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. Yesterday during the open workouts, the French welcome was more of a boost than as for you. What do you want to say to the French fans after that? Does it impact you before the fight?
No, I think it's normal. If you're cheering the opposition more than your own people, you don't belong in that place, I think. For example, if Ciryl come to Western Sydney, I don't think he'd get a big cheer either. It's understandable, and I agree with it. I'm all for it. But by the end of it, I'm sure I'll leave France with some new French fans. Win or lose.
Morning, Tai.
Morning, brother.
Almost as famous for your walkout songs as you are for doing the shoe. So can you tell us what you have planned for your walkout Saturday night?
Look, a lot of people try. I never give it up until I walk out. But this one's for the French fans, so maybe I might get some French fans after this one.
Speaking, maybe like a nice French chanson, some chaparral, or.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded good.
Any nice new jewelry gonna buy after the fight?
Well, if I get another head, I get another ring. You know what I mean?
That's what the ring stands for.
No, it doesn't. But
They will now.
these are my money makers. I just like to put good clothes on them.
Good luck.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, right here. So, what kind of game plan do you think Ciryl has for you?
Cyryl's good at what he does, and that's staying long and fighting the fight out. I think we're two very different styles, and I think that's what's going to make it so entertaining. My style is, I'm an aggressive fighter. I bite down the mouth guard and I go forward, and his is to keep distance and score a good fight. So I think that's what's going to make it so interesting and make it such a good battle. But also he's here to put a show on for his fans and to set an example for Paris MMA. And if that means us throwing down in the middle of the ring, I'm all ears.
Yeah, so what time will it be broadcasted back home?
That's a good question.
Plus, do you expect a lot of people to watch?
Oh, so I think it's on at like 6 or 7 a.m. So that means big benders for Australia. Big benders. That's Australian culture, right there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Tai,
We mentioned already that you're on a 5-bout winning streak, but what changed in your mind after the Spivak loss?
Losing. Losing shit. No one wants to lose, no one likes to lose. And I think after losing 3 times in a row, there was something that needed to change, and I think it was me. I needed to just have a look at myself and change what was happening outside of the cage as much as what was happening inside the cage. And I had to look in the mirror, and I felt that I changed a lot, and I switched up a few things, and I take my job a lot more serious now.
Are you happy with the results so far?
I'm happy in life, yeah. So I think in general, the happier I am, or if I'm happy in general, I think everything else blossoms into what it needs to be. That's including business, fighting, family, everything.
That's good to hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
Hello, Tai. Do you think the atmosphere in France can be better than in Australia?
Well, we'll have to wait till Saturday, but I don't know if the French are as rowdy as Australians. We're pretty rowdy, but I'm keen to wait and see.
Hi. As you were saying, MMA has only been legal in France for about 2 years. For a very long time, it had a very negative image. It was seen as extremely violent. And this morning, you talked about knocking people's head off. So what can you say to people who have a negative image of MMA in France? Maybe that it's more than just a violent sport, it's also tactical, technical, or what can you tell them to maybe make them watch this game?
That's just a figure of speech, but I'm sure if I did that, I'd probably go to jail. But MMA is mixed martial arts. Martial arts is for the sport itself is very beautiful in a way. You have to put time, you have to put effort in to get good at it. It's not something. I'm a street fighter. I consider myself as I call myself a street fighter, but the whole MMA as a sport, it's jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, these are all sports that you can't just rock up and do for one day. It requires time and effort. It's a beautiful sport and it's a beautiful thing, and what better way to express yourself than challenging against another human that practices the same things, you know what I mean? So I think the sport is beautiful, and it's something that kids should get into for self-defense and to keep grounded and for your own confidence, because in a gym you can never get too big-headed because it'll soon get put down. Well, that sounds aggressive again, but fuck, I'm not the one to talk to us, someone that speaks for the sport, I don't know. But yeah, follow the sport, get around it, French. It's not violent, we just knock people out. Thanks guys.